Hello everyone, Turner Birder here with another video for you guys. There's three things I want to discuss in this particular video. But first things first, I want to say thank you for 300 subscribers. Very, very grateful for that. Just earlier this year, I got started with, and there'd be times I'd be grateful for 30 views in the video, but the channel's growing slowly yet surely, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And if you have suggestions on the types of content you do want to see, and it aligns with something I'm interested in, or if it piques my interest, I'll let you know, and I'll probably make a video on it. But yeah, so thank you for that. Unless one of you subscribe or unsubscribe and ruin that 300 subscriber number, thank you so much. Um, but in this video, what I want to get into is three topics, like I mentioned. And the first one I actually thought was going to take longer to discuss, but it looks like in my notes I briefly made, it won't take that long for me to discuss it. But so in Operation 5, they are going to, how I'm understanding it is, they're going to basically allow any PVE character to have any ability. So, if I understand this correctly, except Jack, excuse me, someone like Foz could have Lonnie's ability. Someone like Sarah Connor could have JD's ability. So, I don't know. I personally hate it because I believe that it's the fact that each character has their own unique ability kind of adds to their characterness. So JD, you know what you're getting. You know you're gonna get death from above. You know the ultimate. You know the cards. You know the Lancer GL, something he needs. Boom shot. You know explosive weapons. So it's kind of special to JD. Similar with Kate, where it's like, okay, with Kate, you know you're gonna get you need overkill, you need Nasher, you're gonna get two bleeding cards, you can go invisible. I think there's something to say for the specialness between the characters, um, that allows them to be who they are, relative to how the game initially wanted them to be. Now, I haven't really heard a legitimate argument to uh, I honestly don't know why. Maybe more people are on the other side where they're like, we want every character to have every ability. Um, I don't see the point. If you want to go invisible, just be Kate. If you want to use airstrikes, just be JD. If you want Venom Blade, just be Lonnie. I don't really understand the whole interchanging thing. I personally, if I can help it, I really don't want to participate in it, because I don't really see any value and I don't see the point in it. Um, yeah, so if someone can, comment below to give me a legitimate justification of why you want every character to have every ability versus not, that'd be great. That way I can, you know, understand for my own self, because the uniqueness of these characters are what make them great, in my opinion. Like, I do solo runs, as most of you who watch the channel who stick around for any length of time. I do solo runs with various characters, not just one. Just Kate, Foz, Mac, Keegan, Lonnie, Clayton. I've done solo runs with a bunch of different characters. Cole, obviously, Paddock. What makes them special is what they do with their character. With Cole, you're gonna get like a lot of defensive cards, and some good offensive cards. Obviously, with Clayton, you have his ultimate, reflective shredder. I don't want to see Lizzie with Clayton's ultimate, or Clayton putting enemies in fear like Paddock. What makes Paddock special, maybe you guys have other reasons, but I'm not really attached to the characters because of what happens in campaign. I really don't care. For me, it's about what they do in in PVE. For me, I'm relatively new to PVE as far as Gears 5 is concerned. the previous Gears I only played versus. I got into PVE because I didn't like this versus. So maybe you guys want it to be like other Horde. It wouldn't be like other Escape because it's the first Escape, but other Horde. I think Horde started in Gears 2, I want to say. Maybe you guys want it to be like that. I personally need to be more educated on it, on why you would want every character to have every ability. Because what it reminded me of when I first heard about the class thing happening, I was actually told secondhand by somebody else, and then I confirmed via watching or reading one of their articles. What it reminded me of was the movie Incredibles, where there's a character called I'm not going to go into the full story, but there's a character called Syndrome, and he tells to our main characters, if everyone's special, no one is. So if every character has every character's ability, their names don't matter, what they look like don't matter, none of it matters. Like I'll say Paddock gameplay on whatever, and it could have been anyone. It could have been JD, it could have been Cole, it could have been Baird, because every character has every ability now. So it loses value for me. I'm not saying like it's like a huge, I won't play Gears anymore type of deal, but I don't see what the point is exactly. And I try to think of like, oh, because of no, it doesn't make any sense for me. If you like a specific character skin, just deal with the ability. If you like the way, I mean, my first level 18 is because I like the character skin, and it's called Gear. This is my first level 18, and the reason she's level 18, or he, depending on who you play as, is because I like the way the skin looked. And I didn't have a problem not dealing out any real damage, only doing team revive, because I like the character skin. So if that's the issue, then just deal with the ability. But I guess if you want to be an engineer, but you want to have the skin, I guess that's what people are going for. I personally don't like it. Not that my opinion, I don't know if it holds that much weight, probably not. But I think there's other things that they can improve on for sure. Besides this edition, I mean, the Gatekeepers is broken. That should be fixed way before they think about doing this whole class system thing. But that's another story for a different day. But I guess in conclusion, I don't. If I can avoid it on an individual basis, I'm going to keep every character having their own specific ability if I can avoid it. And I probably won't play with people who want the other like the uniqueness, or sorry, the lack of uniqueness, because it'll just distract me. Like if I see Lonnie going invisible, I identify Lonnie as up close and personal Venom Blade. If she goes invisible like Kate, that's just gonna annoy me, to be totally honest. But yeah, let me know what you think overall before I start going on and saying the same thing over and over again. Let me know what you think about every character having every ability, or having access to every ability. Let me know what you ultimately think of it, if it's a good idea, bad idea, or if you agree with me. All right, so next thing I want to discuss is something very general, and I may make videos later down the road if there's like heavy requests for it. How to get good at Escape. So, as if you watched a couple of videos, you may have missed this. I'll just rehash this. Basically, the gist of it is a Horde friend became an Escape friend because he already had Escape experience. He wanted to help me get the expression "follow me," and actually, let me pull up that expression right now so you know what I'm talking about. Let's see. So this is the "follow me" expression. This is why I got into Escape. This expression right here. But so I wanted that expression. I saw people doing it in Horde as Horde characters or whatever. And I was wondering how you got that, and you had to master all of Operation 2 maps, and it was like I had like a week to do it or something like that. I got in it really late, but So I don't have the best story as far as how to get good at escape or how to improve from not knowing anything to where I am right now because of the fact that I skipped a lot of steps as far as grinding escape maps. The friend who helped me said it took him 2 months to get all of the escape maps. It took me because I had him like 4 or 5 days. So when if you're lucky enough to have a really good player to kind of guide you through them, or in that case at that time carry you through them, that's your prerogative. That's okay. But I'm gonna use the principles that help me get good at Horde for Escape. So if you're new to Escape, or depending on where you're at, if you can complete Insane fairly easy, Elite very easy, Advanced or whatever. What I did for Horde is basically I would host a match, any map, it didn't really matter. I would first I would have to complete it on beginner before I even thought about the next level. And with Horde, they don't have the same modifiers, but work with me here. I first selected, I guess it'd be Survivor for Horde, but for this is more health. And then I would select the next one, Experience, and then I'll do 1 through 50. So basically, I had to prove to myself that, okay, I did beginner, now I can do intermediate, now I can do experienced, now I can do advanced, now I can do elite, now I can, so on and so forth. That's what I did to get, relatively good at Horde. You can use the exact same principles to get good at Escape, because a lot of people, and it's easier to just play it once and then play with me or play with somebody else and not really know anything and then just get carried through a map. That is easy to do, and that's fine. That is your choice. But what I'm trying to help you do is also, not need whoever you quote unquote need to play with. And I know it's it's almost impossible to find good Escape players. A lot of players just gravitate towards Horde. My guess, not to knock Horde, but my guess is just because Horde is very, very easy in comparison. That's why if you get a high level Escape player, they don't lose skill if they get back into Horde, because it's just unlimited ammo and enemies are coming very slow. It's really it's not even close, to be totally honest, as a former heavy Horde player and now Escape player. But I know it's hard to find good players to play with. That is a given. I'm trying to, before I try the Gatekeepers again, because there's a little bit of issues, I'm trying to get cards, specifically one gold card, the Serrated Edge card. I'm trying to get that max before I go back into the Gatekeepers. That way I can get it from 30% to 40%. And I'd rather do it casual master runs, but it's just the rate of winning from this particular character. I would need to be another character to guarantee wins every single time I play. And, something like Lethal Engagements is something I like to play on because there's no Iron Man, but Clayton's not useful on Lethal Engagements unless you take off the heads up modifier. So I know it's hard to find players, and I get it. Or at least I don't really get it because I don't have experience with it, but I understand and I can sympathize with it. But what I can do, help you, in this video, at least try to, is try to build up your skill via playing the lower modifiers. Before, you had to unlock modifiers anyway. You had to do it, there's ways around it. You only had to do the one modifier before, but what they wanted you to do was unlock modifiers so you can be ready to do it on Master. They wanted you to do it on Insane, Elite, and Conceivable before you did Master. And if you aren't a consistent clearer of Master wins, I would suggest that if you want to actually improve your skill. Now, if you have different goals, if being good at escape is not a concern of yours, or you really don't care, completely disregard of what I said. Just keep doing what you're doing, and that's fine. But mainly, I'm talking to the players that actually want to get better, um, who want to improve their skill, be less frustrated, things of that nature. If you're not that type of person, then I'm not really talking to you. So like this is the hive that I'm hovering over. Do intermediate, advanced, experience, whatever, all the way up, just so you can understand each modifier as the level gets harder. Is a little bit of a grind? Yes, but if you do this, maybe a couple times a week, maybe 3 or 4 maps a week, you'll get better over time, and then you'll be better for it. And then when the new hive comes out, you could just do the hive. You don't need to ask a friend. You could just host a public lobby, and anyone can join and you can win because you've built up that time and you built up your skill over time to get good at escape. But, that's totally up to you. Again, not everyone has the same goal. I know when I learned quickly through my old friend, that was very important to me to be good at the game, because I did not want him to carry me every single time we played, and I didn't want that dependence, because you never know what that person's got going on. And then with me, a lot of people ask for help every single week, and a few of you I may be forgetting to get back to and things of that nature. So, and I'm not perfect, and that's what it is, but it's it's hard to manage. Like, okay, I gotta make sure I help, this person, this person, this person, and then on top of that, I gotta, have my own goals for the game. I still don't have all the horde maps, and it's not because it's basically because I don't play as much of horde as I should, but I don't have all the horde maps, so that's something I need to work on as well. And also, I'm also working on maxing out my Clayton, so I have my own goals, and because I started working again, it's hard to fit everything in. But that's just a little bit of transparency from me to people who said like, "Oh, Turner Burner didn't help me." That's probably the reason. Or I look online and you're not on the gears anyway. So that's another thing that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Again, you do what you want, but if you ask me for help for Master Escape, but the only time you play Escape is if we're playing and you're playing something else, then you're basically the exact same level every time, every 3 weeks or every 2 weeks when the hive comes out. You have not gotten better since then. So it's just kind of like, why even do it if you're just going to kind of get dragged through it? You might as well just camp out and spawn and let me do everything, let me just solo it. But I think it's important to get better, and I've mentioned this in another video, so I don't want to rehash it too much. To get better at the game as well, and again with transparency, with Clayton, because it's hard for me to find consistent people to clear with on Master. I've had to suffer and do surge runs, and I hate surge runs. I needed 29 gold cards for that torque bow card, and I'm down to, because I'm gonna use coins, I'm down to needing 9 cards, and I've been just grinding it today and yesterday exclusively, just not even really paying attention to the TV screen, just looking around at my reading books, looking at or listening to Audible, because it's I know that my skill is going to be, I don't know if I'm gonna just suck afterwards, but I know it's going down with these surge runs. So ideally, if everyone got better on and I'm not trying to say this too arrogantly, but if everyone wanted to get better and improve and wanted to be good at escape and not just clear Master, then be done and then show up in 3 weeks, that would be nice for me, because I can go into a public lobby and win Master and never do a surge run ever again. But a lot of people don't care to do that, don't want to do that. And we all have our own different goals. But if you want to get better at escape, I think you should just go through every modifier, read the modifiers, and understand what is happening. Every modifier is different. This one is very easy, very basic. More health means the enemies have more health. More lethal means they do more damage to you. Regen penalty means you will regenerate slower. Faster venom, I think it's twice as fast. Yep. Ammo starvation, every time you pick up a blue box, it's less than if you didn't have this modifier on. Regeneration, the enemies regenerate if you don't kill them fast enough. Iron Man, it just means you get kicked back out to the lobby. So, or if three of you go down, you get kicked back out to the lobby. So different maps have different modifiers. So I think it's important to walk through those modifiers. At least on some level, not saying you absolutely need to do 6 escape matches before doing on master, but at least do 2 or 3. That way you can understand, like, okay, what exactly is going on? Because there's another modifier that people just completely aren't paying attention. I'm gonna go to lethal engagements. So the second modifier says this, heads up. It says enemies take less damage from non-headshots. So there's one time, I don't know if you pay attention to damage, but when a headshot hit a Scion, it said like 8,000 or 7,000 or something like that. But when I body shot him, because I missed, it said like 70. So, you know, that's 1%. Is that right? Yeah, 1% of the damage you're supposed to do. So, like, if your output's supposed to be, we'll say 7 or 8,000, you're going to do 1% of that in this modifier. It's just what it is. So I see a lot of characters as, you know, Lonnie, for instance, using their ultimate, and they're wondering why they can't kill an elite drone. Lonnie's ultimate sometimes can kill like 8 Scions, you know, if you have shock chain on. So they're wondering, like, why isn't this character die? Why isn't this one elite drone not dying? And it's as simple as the fact that this modifier exists. You take this modifier off, everything's normal. So that's why reading the modifiers and going through the modifiers, as opposed to just, this is master, I'm just playing, is very, very important if you want to get better at this game. That's, again, up to you. I don't know everyone's goals. I don't know all the possible goals, but I think it's important to be, you know, a good player. If you're going to play, why not be good? I guess is kind of my point. So walk through the modifiers, read the modifiers. Every map is different. You know, every ammo room's different. Learn the maps on the lower modifiers. That way, when you do it on master, it's very, very easy. Well, sorry, easier than if you did it on easier than if you didn't know anything about the map. So that's my take on that. So one last thing I'm gonna touch on in this video is best escape character, or characters, I should say. So I read something on the forums that said Foz is the best escape character. Now, in my opinion, any character that like needs ammo or relies on a weapon specifically, that they don't like, possess from the jump, they're immediately disqualified from the best escape character conversation. I think by default they almost have to be melee characters. In Operation 3, I would say it was between Lonnie and Cole, who the best escape character was. In Operation 2, it was not even close. It was definitely Lonnie. And Operation 4, because they destroyed Lonnie, and they kind of nerfed Cole, but not really. There's like other, and they also brought the Horde characters to escape. There's other possible competitors for that elusive or, you know, opinionated, whatever, number one best escape character. So, and I'm also going to tie this into like a characters I think you should definitely level up for escape. And the best escape character is definitely not Dell, so let me get off of him. But in my opinion, if I were to do a top 3, it would be Kate, Cole, and Paddock. So, and if I were to do a number 1, it would probably be either between Cole and Paddock, and I haven't fully decided, but I think it's got to be Cole. Um, with Kate, she can't be better than Cole because if there's a map that doesn't have a Nasher or Overkill, in most cases, I should say, she can't do anything. Um, Now, granted, when I played Ice Queen solo run, and also Lethal Engagement solo run, I didn't use any National Overkill in that game. But hypothetically speaking, it's been done where Cole can solo the line, as an example. There is no way Kate can solo the line. Um, that first ammo room she needs. I feel like she's too reliant on ammo, and that's the gist of it. But she's probably the best character that's reliant on ammo. She's definitely better than Foz. I would say Mac as well, and Keegan. It's just the invisibility ultimate is just too lethal. If you do use her bleed cards, that they're too good. I think she's probably the third best though. Um, Paddock, I do like a lot as easily second best, because as soon as he has Bull Talk as soon as he spawns, so it's not like he like absolutely needs a Lancer or any particular weapon or Marksa or Sniper. So I can Bull Talk stun an elite drone with just my skill cards and my Bull Talk as soon as I spawn. So I would give I would give Paddock the edge over Kate in that regard. And then Cole, he has, like at level 6, he has like 90% or more damage dash resistance. He has over 100% melee resistance if you use his cards correctly. So he's a beast. Even though I don't use him a whole lot unless I'm desperate for a solo run that I can't do with another character, or at least not do quick enough, I should say. Um, I would say Cole is probably the best escape character. Offensively, he can kill too many things at once, and defensively, he takes so little damage if the right skill cards are on. Paddock is good as well. It's close between Paddock and Cole, if I'm being totally honest. Paddock can help your teammates um, put the enemies in fear and get your teammates out of dire situations. So that's probably one thing Paddock has over Cole. But again, back to the line as an example, Paddock can't stun Scions. He can kill Scions through fear, but he has to build that up through juvies and something like that. But it's close between Paddock and Cole. I think it depends on the map, more or less, um, and the enemies. More the enemies than the map, even though they're connected. But I would say if you haven't already, the top 3 characters you should level up mainly is Cole, Paddock, and Kate. Those characters in general are relevant on basically every single map in the game. There are maps where Foz is irrelevant. I would say, or less relevant. I would say the Link is a big example. You need Nasher to get do damage on drones. He could headshot the Scions and the Grenadiers. 2 hits for the Grenadiers and then 1 shot for the Scions, but the Warden, he can't do anything. It would have to be Kate, or I don't know if the glitch is still in effect, but if you are holding a Nasher and you're a bleeding or burning character, you can still do damage when you knife, but he would have to meat shield or execute to get those kills. So I would say Foz is probably, and I don't know, between Foz and Mac at 4th, I would probably say. But yeah, Foz is also obviously a good character to level up. I mean, for the sole reason he can headshot Scions. It's just him headshotting Scions does not make him anywhere close to Kate, Paddock, or Cole. He just can headshot Scions, which is great for when you have a sniper rifle. No sniper, can't do anything. Or can do less than what he what his potential is connected to. Yes, I've soloed a few maps with Foz, but it's far easier with Kate. Those same maps just is. The invisibility is a very good trait. Hopefully, they don't fuck with it, and hopefully they don't like change it to where the cloak batteries is way less, like they did JD or something like that. But yeah, every character has their own, well, for now, every character has their own ability that makes them great. But I think relative to relevance on every single map, you want to go probably for top five. You want to go Cole, and I'll hover over them to be clear. Cole, Paddock, Kate, Foz, and then Mac is probably what I would say for top five for now. The fourth and fifth spot, I see why Mac would be useful sometimes and not Foz, things of that nature, because his barrier is like up every 2 minutes. But I think it just depends on the player for those two specifically. I like Mac a lot, but yeah, it depends on the player. But that's pretty much it, guys. I think this video is a little bit longer than anticipated, so I'm going to cut it into chapters. But overall, thank you for listening again. There should be 3 chapters overall, but yeah, thank you for the 300 subscribers. Very, very grateful. And also, if you haven't already, give me a follow on Twitch. If you do, watch Twitch, help me out. I'm trying to, have some goals over there as well as YouTube. So, but yeah, thanks for listening as always, and comment below and let me guys know what you guys think. And I appreciate you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks, guys.